Welcome to CPG 101, and the question for today is, do I need a business degree to work in CPG? Well, you do not actually need a business degree to work in CPG. The short answer for that would be no and yes. When I say no, I'm saying no because it all depends on what you're going to be doing in CPG. A lot of positions don't require you to have a business degree, but they do require you to have work experience, skills, and the ability to be able to go into the interview and impress whatever recruiter or whoever you're talking to, that you know what you're doing and you know exactly how to make the job be yours, and you know how to sell, or you know how to ship, or you know how to do whatever the position is. A lot of times I've realized in CPG, it only depends on what you're applying for. If you're telling me that you're applying for a finance position, yes, they probably will ask for a CPG. If they're asking for something dealing with, I don't know, some kind of analytics, something like that, that's very delicate, very detailed, they will probably most likely ask you for a degree. So you have to make sure you know exactly what you're going for. Now, if you're going for like supply chain, e-commerce, having certifications and having the hands-on experience to be able to do those type of things will make you successful when it comes to those positions. So you have to remember, like, whatever you're applying for in CPG, it all depends on what you're applying for. So whatever you're applying for, know what you're applying for. And you're probably like, Eric, what does that mean? Because whatever you're applying for, understand the position. Don't just be out there sending your resumes and just, hoping for the best, because that doesn't always work like that. I say all that to say, like, hey, this is an enterprise where you have to have a college degree to work there. No, I know a lot of people in CPG up on the scale when it comes to sales, when it comes to operations or whatever, and they may have only finished community college. Some of them do finish college, or some of them have an MBA, or some don't. I know some people who have MBAs who are working entry-level positions, and I know some people who don't have any degrees that are high up on the senior level when it comes to sales, project management, whatever it may be, events, whatever it may be. So you have to remember, at the end of the day, you have to know what kind of position that you're applying for. If you're applying for anything that deals with finance, accounting, things like that deal high level, like leadership type of positions where you're over people, dealing with money, legal, being a lawyer, things like that, you need to have a degree to be able to back up what you're doing, so you have the expertise and along with the knowledge to be able to do it. But if you're going for like sales, starting off entry-level sales and working way up, I haven't really seen too many people that being a force to have a degree. Field activation, field marketing, brand ambassador, community specialist, operations assistant, shipping assistant, e-commerce. A lot of these positions, I've seen people with no background work these positions and get paid between 100 to 120 as long as they had the experience, or some of them came in with the certifications and they were able to work the position. So I say, once again, you have to know exactly what you're applying for and know about the position you're applying for. You just can't just be throwing your resume out willy-nilly and being like, oh, it's all good. But if you know this is a sales position, marketing position, operations position, assistant position, a lot of times they say stuff like, hey, if you have a bachelor's degree but not required, or they'll say bachelor's degree or community college, or some they'll be like experience, and then they'll have everything else. In the CPG field, they care more about if you can do the job than you just having education and can't do the job. So just always remember that when you're applying. So to answer your question one more time, do I need a college degree to apply for a job in CPG? Yes and no. Yes, depending on what the position is, accounting, lawyer, higher above that you have to do, dealing with numbers, where you need the experience from school. And then no, if you're going into sales, field activation, field marketing, operations assistants, community specialist, shopping, marketing, things like that, where you just need the experience and you can have a certificate, those will work. So yes and no. But yeah, continue to subscribe below for more great videos, more great information. And once again, this is CPG 101 with your boy, Eric.